It almost sounds like तेरी कह के लूंगा. Hello. So I am an Indian. I'm not in India, but I'm an Indian, and as any other Indian, I'm part of lots and lots of WhatsApp groups. And usually, what happens is that any name which even sounds like an Indian, that person may or may not be of Indian origin, but sounds like Indian, usually you get at least one WhatsApp message that this person has reached this stage. Let's celebrate. That's it. Indians are everywhere. I'm always suspicious of such messages. I remember first time when Manoj Night Shyamalan, the guy who made Sixth Sense, very good film, when he came into prominence, suddenly section of India started celebrating that Manoj is one of us, Manoj Night Shyamalan. And which is when I thought that, is he really Indian? There is a new name which has again entered this discussion, and that name is Kash Patel. I'm sure, yeah, you must have read it somewhere, where Kash Patel is the new FBI director. Last week, there was a Senate confirmation, and he became the new FBI director. Again, as Indians, shall we celebrate? Shall we ignore? What do we do? I think celebration automatically, just when you see an Indian name, is the part which I find very difficult to make peace with. Because in that case, we should feel responsible every time we see a criminal who is of Indian origin. I saw that with Rishi Sunak also. Rishi Sunak, I have no idea why people in India were celebrating when Rishi Sunak became the prime minister. He could be son-in-law of Narayan Murthy, but that's just by the by. But okay, I digress. I'll come back to Kash Patel. So his name is Kashyap. So Kashyap Patel has become the new FBI director. FBI is a very, very important institution, and FBI is a huge employer. So they have tremendous employee base. They have tremendous agent presence everywhere in the world. So we know that it is a very, very powerful organization. Donald Trump chose Kash Patel, and that was confirmed by Senate last week. So that was the procedure. Why president needed to do this? Because the FBI director before Kash Patel, so he resigned. He could foresee that Trump is not going to be in favor of him continuing in this position. Also, Kash Patel had like a big right-wing media presence, and his name was touted as the next FBI director pretty strongly. So he knew that every day would be a day of confrontation with Donald Trump, and which is why the FBI director, when Trump's victory was announced, he just resigned. That actually made Trump's job very easy. So Trump just appointed Kash Patel. Now this appointment, every time this appointment is mentioned, Kash Patel is described as Donald Trump loyalist. Now, there is nothing wrong in being a loyalist. Problem is that the FBI director, the position is always considered as non-partisan. It is never aligned to any one particular party. And which is why the term of a FBI director is always 10 years. So FBI director, you don't get to change every time you change your president, unless the FBI director is fired or FBI director resigns. Which is why the loyalist tag is a bit worrisome when it comes to the FBI director. FBI director should not only be independent, he should appear to be so. And which is why most of the FBI directors, they maintain a low profile. Two things that Kash Patel has done. One, he has written a book, a children's book called The Plot Against the King. Okay, this is obviously a fictional book, and in this book, the king is Donald Trump, and plot against the king means this is a plot against Donald Trump. So this is the fictionalized version where Trump, although is a king, everyone around him, they are plotting. So there is a character which I believe is called as Hillary Clinton, and there is again James Comey version in that story. And obviously, in the story, there is Kash Patel's character also, which I believe is called as Wizard Kash, or something like that. But then the story is it is bigging up Donald Trump, and at the same time, it is also bigging up Kash Patel's loyalty for Trump. So the book is kind of act of sycophancy, and which is why I said, although loyalty is one thing, but then when loyalty kind of reeks of sycophancy, which is where the problem lies. That is one book. The second book that he's written is called as Government Gangsters. Now, Government Gangsters is basically a book which is full of conspiracy theories about the deep state, that everyone is constantly conniving against the rest of the America, and everyone here is corrupt, and so that's basically the deep state. And so it is, Kash Patel terms this as an insider account. Book ends with list of enemies. Now this is the list of enemies. So this list includes everyone, right from people from the Republican Party. Donald Trump is from Republican Party, so people from Republican Party, people from Democratic Party. There are media personalities, his own Attorney General. So it's pretty shocking that a person who has this ambition of becoming FBI director has in the past a book which has list of enemies maintained. And again, Kash Patel is not very coy about it. So there are podcasts where you can see that this is the list and we are putting you on a notice. When we come to power, we will come after you.
We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media. Yes, we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you.
This part is pretty shocking. And when you declare this list of enemies, so this is also quite a painful or shocking aspect overall, because it almost sounds like teri keh ke lunga. I don't know if Kash Patel has seen Gangs of Wasipur, but this almost sounds like that. And you have to watch his videos where he literally is kind of raging with vengeance. And that's quite worrying that he is now going to assume such a powerful position. Now, Kash Patel, obviously he is of Indian origin, but he's not born in India. He's born and bred in United States, I believe. His parents were from one of the African countries. They migrated to United States. So the India connection that we started with, like Kash Patel's India connection, I was looking for that. I was looking for like Kash Patel's visit to India. But then two things. But then there is no picture of Kash Patel playing Dandiya or Kash Patel enjoying Fafda. No, he is Patel, but then he is Patel who migrated long time, or his family migrated long time ago to United States. But then I noticed that before Senate confirmation, his family was there right behind him, and which is when right around the time when he made his introductory remark and he thanked his family, and then he looked at them and he said, Jai Shri Krishna.
I'd like to welcome my father, Pramod, and my mother, Anjana, who are sitting here today. They traveled here to get here from India. It means the world that you guys are here. Jai Shri Krishna.
Which was quite touching, and I found that whole moment quite interesting, that you are out of India, but then you kind of follow these things. One more thing that I noticed during Senate confirmation is only in Senate confirmation, I saw Kash Patel wearing glasses. None of the other interviews, you will find Kash Patel wearing glasses. So looks like he doesn't have any problem with his eyesight, but then only for Senate confirmation, he wore glasses. So Senate confirmation is a lot like a job interview. So where you sit down and then there is a Senate committee and they ask you lots of questions. And then I don't know why, but Kash Patel felt a need to wear glasses. But this is like a classic Desi move. Like I have lots of friends who do this or who did this, like back in the day when they were doing their interviews, job interviews, and then they would come for interview wearing glasses. And I was like, why are you wearing glasses? He said, no, it's just a look. Yeah, you either look less cunning or studious That's it. So there is no downside to it. So which is why I'm wearing glasses. And I thought probably, yeah, means Kash Patel is just pulling that desi move. And which is when I really wanted to say that one of us, one of us, one of us. I didn't do that. So that's Kash Patel. Then the FBI director, now he is going to become the FBI, like chief of FBI. And so the expectation is that he should have great plans for FBI. Usually what people do is that they come up with some sort of reform. Okay, I'll improve FBI, I'll do this, I'll do that. But in case of Kash Patel, yeah, he would like to reform it completely. And when I say reform, he just wants to dismantle it completely. But his view is that I should just shut down this building. So there is a Hoover building. So I should just shut down the Hoover building and then convert it into the Deep State Museum. Hoover was an interesting guy. He was very hawkish. He spied on everyone during his time. FBI was very, 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 very strong. I can add few more varies. So, but FBI was very strong, and in fact, many people considered Hoover stronger than even the president. But then still, somewhere Hoover had good intentions in mind, so he protected United States ferociously.
Each of the special agents of the Federal Bureau of Investigation must be ready and capable to meet any challenge.
But then when he passed, FBI also was reformed. The FBI director's position also was reformed. Still, it was kept bipartisan. This part changed when Nixon in 1972 appointed his loyalist as FBI director.
If there was one man who was more paranoid of Hoover than anyone else, it was the now new president, Richard Nixon. Nixon was so paranoid, he secretly recorded almost 4,000 hours of his conversations, a move that would later define his downfall.
This event was followed by Watergate, followed by the resignation of President Nixon. So there are people who think that appointment of Kash Patel has echoes of that chain of events. Again, Donald Trump, much like Nixon, has appointed a loyalist as FBI director. Whether FBI director, whether he is acceptable to the rank and file within FBI, that remains to be seen. But still, automatically being fan of Kash Patel just because he is Indian is something I don't think we should do. But Kash Patel's story was interesting. I hope you find it interesting. Leave a comment if there is any question, if there is anything I got wrong, if there are any recommendations for me. Do share. My thanks to good folks at Mangara Talkies for giving me this opportunity to share my pages of the journal. Thank you.